Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Red Shadow's Favorite Games. I'm the Red Shadow, and I've decided to sit down and do one more Favorite Games video here today. That'll do 3 for today. And anyway, I was trying to think of what I'd want to go to next. So I kind of highlighted a full series that covered many consoles, and then I hit a PS2 RPG. I decided this time I would go to something that's a little bit more recent. And anyway, as you can see by the title, we're talking about Red Dead Redemption. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. I didn't actually have this on my list of games that I wrote down originally. It was never a 100% solid list anyway. I've added a few things, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I really enjoyed this game when I played it first back in 2010. I feel like this is probably a game that needs a replay very soon, or at the least should require me to go and finish up Undead Nightmare, which was the kind of crazy zombie spin-off game to this, which I've only barely started on. I've completed this one all the way through and had a blast playing that. You know, when you see that little R down in the corner, you know that there's quality involved. Let me, as I like to do here, show off first my strategy guide. This is the Game of the Year edition guide. It's a hardcover book. Covers both the regular game and the Undead Nightmare. Picked this up for a pretty good deal, if I remember right. I don't remember spending an overly amount on that. And I like that it covers both games, and it's a nice hardcover book. But I would also be remiss if I didn't show off this guy. This is Red Dead Revolver. Excuse me. This is the first game in the Red Dead series. And even though this shows Rockstar down here as well, this game was actually developed by someone else. And I was going to look this up before I sat down and do this video, and I guess I got completely distracted. I'm wanting to say it was Acclaim or somebody like that had created this game. This Western run and gun kind of game. Run and gun, that's probably not the right terminology for it. It's not an open world Western like Red Dead Redemption was. You go through little levels, but otherwise a lot of aspects were intact, and then a lot of new things were added for Red Dead Redemption. But this isn't too bad of a game. I've beat it once or twice. But Red Dead Redemption is the focus of this one. And like I said, it's been a little while since I've played this, so I need a refresher. But this tells the tale of John Marston, who is, well, let's just read the back of the box. America, 1911. The Wild West is dying. When federal agents threaten his family, former outlaw John Marston is forced to pick up his guns again and hunt down the gang of criminals he once called friends. Experience an epic fight for survival across the sprawling expanses of the American West and Mexico, as John Marston struggles to bury his bloodstained past one man at a time. Outlaws to the end. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You play a guy who used to be a part of a band of outlaws who is trying to clean up his life and go straight, and he's married now to an ex-prostitute and has a child, and then he gets wrapped up in this scheme here where he's basically forced to go track down all the members of the group he was a part of and turn them in, bring them into justice, kill them. I can't remember exactly what he had to do, but this is very intricate on the storyline. This is very storyline driven. It's got, John Marston is a very likable character, as are all the characters that you meet in this game. We're not necessarily all likable, but they all fit the role that they are meant to be. You hate the people you want to hate. You like the people you're meant to like. And of course it has a really cool ending to it. Nice, not necessarily twist, but one of those satisfying in that it wasn't just a ride off into the sunset style that would be typical of a Western or whatever. It has a really good satisfying ending, and that's the best thing about games with heavy storylines in them, is you want them to pay off. Like I said about Undead Nightmare, this is sort of like an alternate thing because of events in Red Dead Redemption. Obviously, this wouldn't exist if things had worked out differently in that game, but this was just a excuse me, a very interesting take on so many games. Well, over the last 5 or 6 years have been going all zombie on us, but this was one I didn't expect to do the zombie thing. So I can't, like I said, I can't say much more about it because I haven't played it. I haven't played it all the way through. I gotta knock the rust off of Red Dead Redemption. I'm really getting excited to play it. Hopefully I might do that again. I might sit down and play it again very soon, in and amongst all the other games I want to play. I was very tempted to show off what I like to call the gun show, and we're not talking about the muscles, but there was a Western game that came out before this, and maybe around the same time as Red Dead Revolver, that was entitled Gun, and I thought it was an amazing Western game when it came out. But then it was blown away by Red Dead Redemption. I thought it was better than Red Dead Revolver because it was more of the open world style game. And I have copies on the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, and Xbox 360 of Gun. That's why I call it the Gun Show. But I'll show that off at another point. So I'm kind of coming up dry as what else to say about Red Dead Redemption. Most people who are into gaming right now, console gaming, are aware of how well received it was, and it's considered one of those must-own or at least must-play games from the 360, PS3, Wii generation. So, and it's Rockstar. What more can we say? There's also been some talk that there may be a Red Dead Redemption sequel coming, although it's probably going to be on the next gen, well, current gen consoles now. So I won't get to play it. Another bummer. But I hope they do make one and expand the world even more so. Because guys like me need something to cry about because we're not going to be buying the new consoles. You probably thought I was going to say, oh, well, this might be something I would buy a new console for. Nope, it's not happening. I don't care how many good things they throw out there. But anyway, enough about that. I'm just going off on a tangent now. Red Dead Redemption, definitely one of my favorite games, especially from the 360 PS3 generation, considering I waited 4 or 5 years before I jumped into it. To think that within the first 3 or 4 months that I had a 360, this was one of the games that I bought like on day of release. I got a little spoiled about having good games for these new consoles. Newish consoles, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.